Hey guys, Albert Apache, open source self-defense, fitness, and grappling. Um, so I really like doing these response videos or whatever you want to call them because I really like the format. It gives you all a visual uh, so that I can comment on them without having to do a lot of production. And so, um, I really like them. So this one is called "This Choke Defense Will Get You Killed." Okay. And I'm going to commentate um, on the entire video. I hope you'll understand what I'm trying to say.
If you're ever in a situation where someone's got you pinned up against the wall, whether it's a chokehold or grabbing your shirt, this is how you're going to escape it. First thing you're going to do is cross grab to their elbow. From here, you're going to pull back with your elbow down and up. And it gets them off balance. From here, you can grab their head and reverse the position on them. And then you go for elbows, knees, and then you can get out of there.
Okay, are you ready?
Just 1 second, actually.
So first, let me say that I checked this guy's channel out, and I'm not sure if he's being 100% real or if he's just kind of a troll, and he just, he's building his channel off of ridiculousness. Because some of what he says is right on, and then other things he does is just kind of laughable, just kind of funny. But let's kind of watch and see what happens for the rest of this video.
Now we'll do it with realistic energy. Okay, Izzy, are you ready?
Yeah, just tell me how hard.
Well, that's bullshit.
I'm going to show you how to escape a chokehold when someone has you pinned up against the wall.
So if that's how not to escape it, how do you escape it? Firstly, the fact that you're watching a video on how to escape a front choke tells me that you don't have 9,046 hours to...
Okay, so he's going to go into why he thinks you're watching the video, whatever the case may be. So the first thing I noticed about a lot of the videos that this particular guy does is that he does one of those things that really is annoying from my perspective when I watch a lot of these guys who want to, I guess, try to build credibility via taking credibility away from legitimate martial arts and techniques. And I find this very much in the, quote, reality-based and tactical training or military defense training or whatever, military tactics training that some of these people like to push. And their argument is always, well, you don't have to train, and well, training is, nobody has the time to train that often. I mean, it might be effective, but who has it? So I'll get more into that myth, but it's one of the biggest myths out there that somehow somebody can tell you to do some very rudimentary things like bite them, eye gouge them, kick them in the groin, and then all of a sudden you don't need to train anymore now because those are not complex motor skills or motor movements, and so that's what you want, because you might panic and forget all that complex stuff anyway. And who has the time to train it anyway, right? So that's where, he's doing that kind of thing. And then also, you notice he was super, like, giving pretty strong resistance, like surprise attacking, just walking up, bam, grabbing a hold of her and, choking her. And, are you ready? And before she could say, yeah, he's choking her, which is quite realistic in the training sense. But as you'll see as we go on, he doesn't treat the technique or his answer the same way. He doesn't put it under the same stress, which makes it kind of hard to know if what he's saying is legit, right? But let's go ahead and check it out.
Train combatives, Kali, Krav Maga, and in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so we're not going to do any overly complex movements because under adrenal stress, you will forget them. The first thing that's important to note is that it's never going to be this kind of scenario where it's stationary, because if someone's choking you, it's going to be due to the fact that they're emotionally charged. You've done something to piss them off. Maybe you mistook their butthole for your butthole while trying to finger yourself, I don't know, but whatever it was, they're angry. So it's much more likely that it's going to look something like this. The defense for this doesn't start once my hands are wrapped around her throat. There are many pre-contact cues that come before the actual attack itself, which tell you what I'm about to do. My face will start to crunch up because I'm getting angry, my shoulders will come out, and I'll start to lunge towards you. When you recognize these cues, that's your sign to go. That's when you start palm striking, you start eye gouging, you grab onto the back of the neck, you start biting, tearing, ripping, etc. So we'll say that you missed those cues, and now you do find yourself being choked.
So, see, when he says stuff like that, I don't know if he's really being serious. I mean, his answer to teaching self-defense is to bite him? Like, I mean, come on, man. Like, everybody knows that already. I think every human being understands the concept of fighting for survival, life and death, scratching, biting, eye gouging, you know, if there's a knife, stab them with it. Like, I think everybody kind of gets that concept of fighting for your life, but that being said, that's not really a technique. There's no, notice he's not teaching her any special way to bite him. He's not teaching her any special way to poke him in the eyeball or to reach out and scratch him. So why do we, I mean, it almost raises the issue as to why do you even need to teach self-defense? So let's continue.
The second that you find their hands around your throat choking you, your first reaction, unlike unsolicited dick pics from guys named Todd on Tinder, is going to be to grab them. No matter what I tell you, you're going to end up either here, or here, trying to claw these hands away from your throat. Now, if this person is trying to choke you like this, they're probably a lot bigger and stronger than you, so that's not going to work. I'm not going to tell you to not do this, because no matter how many times they tell you that, you're still going to do it under pressure in the moment. So you find yourself here, trying to claw this away, it's not working. Now, we're going to go do the exact same thing we were going to do before. Palm strike to the face, grab by the back of the head, jam that thumb in their eye, tear the ears, striking, and then if you can, if they do let up, then you can come in and start biting the ears while still tearing the face, thumbs in the eyes, etc. So now that I've told you what to do and how to escape it, I want to do it real energy, real speed, so that you can see that it's not necessarily going to be as easy as it sounds when I'm just describing it. I'm not going to wear a head guard because I can't find my head guard and I do need to film this video, so she's still going to hit as hard as she normally would, but I'm going to just, you know, take it, I suppose. So, without further ado, here we go. You know what fucking shits me?
So before we get into that, you even notice with the production value of the video, like, you know, he has the little right, when he's wanting to make fun of the other, you know, answer or technique to being thrown up against the wall. Yet, when it comes down to he's teaching you his stuff, it gets down to some serious, you know, shredding rock and roll there, or some pretty nice little riffs. Right? So let's check it out, man.
I'm walking down the street and you make eye contact with me. You don't even fucking talk to me. That literally makes me feel like I'm a turd that's been shit on by like 3 fucking fat guys with diarrhea in a row. What the fuck is your problem? That makes me feel like absolute fucking shit. And you don't even fucking say anything. You know what? Fuck you.
Okay, so we see he gives all the pre-attack cues, right? Giving her time to bring up her hands. Unfortunately, the way that I'm recording my screen, I didn't realize that my picture was going to be in the way of that particular little sign there, but that's what that little sign says. She's bringing up her half guard. In other words, she's bringing up her hands into it. Now, that's legitimate, right? That is a legitimate thing to do. It's actually one of the things that, you know, I was taught and that I've learned and that, you know, that I pass on to people that I coach, is that, you know, anytime you start to feel threatened, there's some non-threatening postures you can take that will bring your hands into a more effective place to, you know, deflect and defend and protect your head. So those are the postures you want to take, because they get your weapons ready, without it being you brandishing your weapons. It's not doing this number or doing this number, right? Like you're getting ready to fight. So you're not instigating with your body language. So that was legitimate. But you saw how he gave her so many pre-contact, pre-attack cues. Not the, wow, blah, 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 chunk, right? And then he just like grabbed a hold of her. So, you know, I can't really tell if this guy's being serious or not. Further, I mean, you can't tell me that that's realistic resistance that he's giving her. After she gave him the first strike, I mean, he's pretty much back on his heels, and now he's grabbing her around the waist, but not trying to hold her to the ground.
Oh no, it's just blue. That's good. No, that was exactly what I wanted. Thank you so much.
Alex, if you're watching this, you are very, very, very fucking good at Taekwondo. That's great. Stick to that shit. Stick to what you're qualified to teach, because what you're teaching people in regards to self-defense will get them killed. All you have to do is train this technique with this fucking tiniest bit of resistance to see that it's complete bullshit. Continue to teach Taekwondo. Leave the street fighting self-defense behind. Leave that for the people that are qualified to teach it.
And you notice that he says that, well, leave that to the people who are qualified. So if a black belt in Taekwondo doesn't make you qualified, if Krav Maga, okay, is not something that you have hours and hours to train, so I guess clearly Krav Maga doesn't get you, you know, ready to teach self-defense. What is qualification? So that's kind of goes back to my question. This is why I don't know if this guy is serious or he's just trolling, but it illustrates a point, is that many times these tactical or reality-based guys, even unfortunately a lot of people who claim that they're, you know, a traditional martial art based system or even a military based system like Krav Maga, will use these kind of answers, and they'll be like, well, you're not qualified to teach, but you need to listen to me and I'm qualified, and this, that, and the other. Yet where are their qualifications? Where, I mean, and even if they don't have qualifications, I'm one that, you know, I have degrees in different things, and I have, you know, rankings in different martial arts, and I'm the first one to tell you that really degrees don't mean anything, belts don't really mean anything other than you've done this for a long time, but they don't necessarily reflect how efficient you are at that particular skill or that particular, you know, thing. For instance, you know, you can have a degree in mechanical engineering and just be a really bad engineer because maybe it took you 8 years to get that degree. You know, maybe you dropped classes and then retook classes and dropped and retook and dropped and retook until you got a good enough grade to continue on. And you know, maybe you worked the system. You could have done that, and now you have an engineering degree, but you're really not that great an engineer, right? You're really not that great a problem solver. Although I guess that is kind of a way to solve the problem. But anyhow, that being said, you know, you notice that a lot of these guys never actually talk about what makes you qualified to teach it. Self-defense. They just, their only real answer is to gain their credibility and their legitimacy. Their qualification is based on the fact that somebody else is unqualified. And so it's just one of my pet peeves. I'm pretty sure this guy is just a joker. Like, I think he's just making jokes and poking fun at martial arts in general. I think that's all his channel is. So I really don't take him serious. I mean, if some people listen to him or know him personally and he really is, I guess, you know, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's just I think some of the stuff he does is pretty laughable and it's pretty funny, and, you know, it's just out there. But there is some legitimacy, and that's why I said, you know, but the best comedy does have a grain of truth in it, right? So that's how come I'm not sure if, you know, he's just joking around or not. So anyhow, guys, that's all I got. You guys have a good day, and remember, be practical, be purposeful, get fit with a purpose, guys.